Let me scroll through my jokes. The vibes are fucking rotten in the United States. The vibes are off. Nobody's happy. Everybody's angry. Everybody is seeking catharsis. Everyone is yelling at each other, and I don't think anybody cares what they're saying anymore. Like, reading Twitter, I'm not going to get into the meat and bones of it, but reading Twitter is like reading a fairy tale. Everybody's living in their own delusion. Everybody's living in their own fantasy. And the people who are not living in that same delusion and fantasy are just looking around like, oh my God, I think everyone's on mental drugs. I think this is how you get mentally hooked on dopamine and serotonin. Is it serotonin or is it just dopamine? I think people are geeking out on catharsis. But nobody's actually ever, like, satisfied because they just keep arguing. Like, notice that? Like, you would think, okay, I responded to this comment. I feel better now because they know exactly how I feel. And then waking up, not even waking up, but then the next 15 to 20 minutes going, I need another fix. We're drug addicts now. That is the joke. The joke is that we're all hooked on catharsis. We're all shambling about like fucking zombies, repeating the same 5 phrases. What are those phrases? One of those phrases is, you're dumb. The other phrase is, you're wrong. The other phrase is, fake news. The other phrase is, what the fuck is happening? And the other phrase is, I believe anything you say, masters. That could apply to anybody. Okay? If you have masters, it applies to you. And nobody's happy. Nobody's happy with the arguments they're having anymore. And I think this is going to escalate to something catastrophic. Is this still funny? Hold on, is this thing on? And by catastrophic, I mean people are going to start sleepwalking in dreams. People's eyes will just be closed as they're strolling around, wondering what the fuck is going on. But in their mind, they are being told and fed what the fuck is going on. I feel like many books have already been written about this exact situation. And I try not to participate in it. I found a cult, my little cult. You know, if you're going to be indoctrinated into a cult, you might as well choose your own cult adventure. You know, let me find my own cult before somebody says that I should join theirs. And everybody's vying for your attention for their cult. And there are many cults. It's not just, the political factions. Have you ever heard a vegan yell at somebody because they liked an animal character? I imagine furries make vegans wildly uncomfortable and furiously angry. I mean, frothing at the fucking mouth. It's all I can imagine. Because if you're a furry, you're not just having a pet. You're having sex with a pet. Can I say that? Hello? Anybody out there? There's cults everywhere. There is the cult of I'm smarter than you, where it's just guys who research facts about ancient civilizations that they will never see and be a part of, and pretending like they're actually leaders from factions from that period of time. If that sounds confusing, it's because it is. Because they're very confusing people. They have to be right about everything. Okay? There's food cults. Why are people still eating Crumble cookies? Why am I still seeing people eat these Crumble cookies? Every time I'm watching TikTok, am I going a little too fast? Let me slow down. Whenever I watch TikToks, I see people eating these nasty-ass cookies. I have tried them. There is not a good cookie among them. Stop giving them business and stop giving them advertising. Because you know when you create anti-something, somebody's going to turn around and be pro-something. You create people who hate Crumble cookies, you're going to create another subdivision of people who claim, lying through their teeth, that they love Crumble cookies, but they don't actually like Crumble cookies. They just know that they need to exist in the opposition because somebody has created a faction that hates a particular popular something. Is this funny? I don't know. Am I making jokes? You guys laughing, or is this just like getting too serious? There's cults. There's cults. There are cults for those with eyes who see. Physical object cults. Remember the Stanley Cups? That's a cult. That's a cult. Nerds are a big cult. And nerd is just an umbrella. Nerds are a cult. There's only 2 types of nerds. There's only 2. You only need to memorize 2 types of nerds. There are the nerds that get happy when you're interested in the thing they are interested in, and they want to show you everything about it and tell you everything about it, and they want to tell you about their favorite video games and their favorite books, and they're just happy you're here to listen to them talk about it. And then the other side, I'm going to get a sip of juice. Sip of juice acquired. The other side is a gatekeeping cult. Now, the people who want you to be part of their cult of reasoning, of all of their special interests, those are good people. Those are some of the best people. You hang out with somebody who has thorough special interests, and you will learn you some shit. Okay, I have a friend who is just a bunch of special interests in a trench coat. He is chocked full of new special interests every month. This man is a calendar. You can tell the phases of the moon by this new special interest my guy is interested in. And I love listening to every drip drop because I learned so much. And then I can go around other people and be like, yeah, I know how a watch works. I know how a watch works. It's the little gears inside, and I used to know all the terminology because he knew all the terminology, and that was fascinating. He got me involved in several nerd cults. I already liked sci-fi, but he recommended some great books. The Master and Marguerite. I love that book. I really love that book. But he's the good nerd. You know, the slightly autistic. In a good way. That's a compliment. I love autistic people. If you claim autistic, you most likely are a wholesome fellow. You are a wholesome person. You are a beautiful lady. Because the gatekeepers, hold on a second. Let me back up the gravy train. The gatekeepers, they used to just be obnoxious. Now they're just straight up militant. Nothing is good. No movie is good anymore. No series is good anymore. No games are good anymore. Everything, if it has just a little bit of flamboyance, you add even just a little bit of rainbow to something, people get, oh my God, the gatekeepers. If you add just a little bit of color, oh no. Oh no. It's the end of the fucking world. That's it. Pack it up. Show's over. We had a blast while it lasted. No, they cannot conceive. I loved all three last Star Wars movies. I love them. I thought they were great. I saw every single one of them in theater. I thought Rey was wonderful. Great cast of characters. They were so mad. They were so mad because somebody had drip-dropped some vagina in there. They didn't like that. That's not where they like their vagina. Okay, then they drip-dropped just a little tiny drop of color. And they said, oh. They all shuddered. They all shuddered together like a weird shudder wave, like a ocean lapping at the sands. Just and then there are the nerds who are like, I didn't like it, but I'm glad you liked it. And those are the wholesome ones. I love me a wholesome nerd. I've been through the ringer with some really unwholesome nerds. I should probably talk about that. I am going to save this. Oh my God, 22 minutes. Maybe I'll actually go in and cut this down. Huh. I didn't know I could talk for that long. Well, you got more bang for your buck. Congratulations. I may or may not edit this. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. I love you all. Bye-bye.